Oh, man, it is that time of year again. The one time of year that I brave the camera with my man Heat Override. I'm Johnny Danger. We're here at drroto.com getting ready for the Super Bowl. We're going to talk prop bets. We're going to talk DFS showdowns. We're going to talk how many times Taylor Swift's going to get shown on TV. I don't know. We're going to talk a lot of stuff. Doc's going to join us when he can. And we'll see how we're able to keep this under control or not. I don't know. Heat, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Danger. How are you, man? Like we were just saying, the Rams, the 49ers are bounced. We don't have any attachments to this game, so just spend all the money, hit all the props, throw in the showdowns, and just win for the year. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. All right, first off the bat, right now, Heat, who wins this game? Who wins this game?
It's the Eagles, 34-27. Bam.
34-27, a full touchdown victory.
That is. It's all Saquon Barkley. It's not that I'm a Penn State alum, but man, anybody that goes over 700 yards, 7 touchdowns in 3 games and dices, like those weren't hard defense. Look, you could say Washington was an enigma. The Rams had crappy defense, whatever. We had a great front 7. Jared Verse, yeah, I had that right there. Future bet. That's what we do with Dr. Roto, right? But to beat the Packers can stop the run. And he ran through them. So I mean, I'm sold. I can't even take it. I can't back down. That man hurdled a man backwards this year. Dude is super.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the point spread right now. It's a pick'em game at the moment. It's a pick'em game, Heat. I'm with you. I'm picking the Eagles, man. People are talking about Kansas City rush defense, but go back through their last couple of games, Heat. You got that up, or I got to pull that up. I can pull it up.
You got to pull that up, but
I'm gonna pull it up. They haven't stopped the run, man. And how are they going to stop Barkley if they can't stop the run? Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's look at the Bills.
Just hit this right here too.
What did they give up?
James Cook,
85 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Bam! Look at his receiving yards too, bro.
Let's go back to the Texans game. Let's talk about Joe Mixon, 88 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Let's go back one game to that. Let's talk about the Broncos.
And that's
okay. They didn't do it. They held the Broncos. It's okay. They held the Broncos. That's not what I talk about. That's not the one.
Well, the Broncos
the one I want to
no
talk about is the Steelers. The lowly Steelers put 145 yards up on them.
And you got the slowest turtle in the game, man. You got Najee Turtle Harris running on all over them. And everybody's talking about how like Kansas City. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care how any of those running backs or anybody on that team, ain't nobody better than Saquon Barkley. That's facts. And if James Cook could go over 100 total yards, Saquon Barkley can go over 200 total yards. Easy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Barkley show. I gotta admit, we'll talk to Doc when he gets on, but I've got some bias. I've got some real boiled blood when it comes to Kansas City. Being a diehard 49ers fan, I've had to watch my team the last 2 Super Bowl appearances blow fourth quarter leads against this team. You can't count them out, man. It feels wrong clicking the button against them in the Super Bowl, doesn't it? Even though you think they're going to lose by a touchdown, doesn't it feel just a little bit wrong?
Yeah. See, it does. It does. Because, I don't mind Kansas City. I don't care whatever love they're getting from whatever entity is else on the field. Look, I don't care. I like Patrick Mahomes. I've liked Patrick Mahomes for the last 4 or 5 years. I said it. I got in an argument with a dude on Twitter. Doc had to call me down because me and this dude was going at it. And he was like, oh, Tom Brady. And then fortunately that year, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. However, Patrick Mahomes has been fire other than the Rams Super Bowl since then. So therefore, I'm just, this is legacy. He does this. He is the best. It just goes back to show, like, I've got no problem with him. So for me, I like both teams, but I like Saquon Barkley the most.
I think so. Ryan Santos says the dream team, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
All right. Our man Replay Reel, part of the Roto family at drroto.com in our Discord here, listening, paying attention. Says, don't you think Spags won't play single high to stop Barkley? Yeah, man, but like, don't you think every team they've played this year has tried to do something similar? That offense is just too good because if you are able to lock down Saquon, then you have to give up one-on-one for Brown. You have to give up one-on-one for Smith. Hurts has got a good arm. He can scramble. I don't think that Kansas City is prepared for this team personally. I'm going to take that stance with you. I think Philadelphia wins by 7 or more.
Yeah. I just like when it goes back to exactly what you said. If nobody's seen that meme where Saquon Barkley against the Rams looks over to Jalen Hurts and goes, "Watch this," and runs an 80-yard touchdown, and that was the touchdown that almost put it out for the Eagles until the Rams went psycho and came back and almost won that game. Look, if a dude is calling touchdowns, get into the second half. And what's crazy is that sweep that the Eagles are running right now, nobody's seen it. Nobody's seen it. He is breaking so many big runs. Look at it. When he gets outside, it's only the corner and the safety. I swear, and ain't nobody. Them two players are not tackling Saquon Barkley.
Fair enough, man. So you know that I am a huge fan of my simulations, right?
Mhm.
You know this. This is my entire career is based on reading the sims and trying to read between the lines. I'm going to tell you this. My boys over at PayDirtDFS.com, my man James McCool over there, his system says Kansas City should be 5-point favorites.
Wow. Okay. Whatever.
5-point favorite. I don't know if it's updated. We'll have to check in the morning. I don't know the last time he hit refresh.
I look at it this way too. Because the Bills dropped the ball, if the Ravens would have played that Chiefs team, Derrick Henry would have slashed them. Like this team.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to correct myself.
Well, okay.
I had it sorted the wrong directions. They have the Eagles at 5 points. Eagles at 5 points. Sorry, James McCool. Sorry, my man. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens. We're all reading on the thing and we're having fun. Everybody's having fun.
I was like, hey, my Sims, they're going to back us up, Heat, because they always do, right? And then I went, no, we're wrong. We can't be wrong. So
last year we hit a lot of bets, but that non-quarterback touchdown for 3,500, man, won me a lot of money. And
that was a big one.
And again, we'll get to that too. But it was about a lot of those numbers, that you ran. What do you say? If it's under 69.9 or something, you don't bet it. Is that what you're ruling?
That's right. It's got to be 70% likely, baby. That's what we want to see.
That's what it's all about. That's what we're going to do.
When Doc gets on here, we'll start running that a little bit. I want to look at. There he is, right there, right on time. I just said to the world, when Doc gets here, and pop, here he is.
Who knows?
You're a Jedi.
Look at that, Doc.
What's up, Doc? How you doing, brother? Stop to bring the pain.
Oh my God. How's it going? How you guys? I literally just had a friend text me. He's like, any good Super Bowl props?
No, get ready. Get ready, because here it comes. All right, Doc, before I know you probably didn't listen to the intro. Right off the top of your head right now, who wins and by how much?
The best team are the Eagles. That doesn't mean I think they're winning the game. It just means the Eagles are the better team. Will the referees let the Eagles win? I don't know about that.
Oh, don't start this now.
If I was placing a bet, I probably would bet on the Chiefs because, as Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's true.
And Patrick Mahomes is the man. So, and Andy Reid is the man. So I'll say the Chiefs, but I do not feel good about it.
All right, it's getting kind of wild here. When we logged on, I looked, and DK had it as a pick'em game. And now I just looked again, and Chiefs are favored 1.5. It's going crazy back and forth all week long.
Would you take the 1.5?
I would. So I asked Heat. No, I'd take the 1.5 for the Eagles. I'd take plus 1.5. I asked Heat his gut. He said 24-17 Eagles.
No, 34.
34
Eagles. Yeah, man. Saquon Barkley going off, bro. 200 yards.
I feel like it's a 6-point victory by the Eagles. I looked at our buddies over at Paydirt DFS's simulation. They say Eagles should be favored by 5.
So let me say this. They should be. Right. And I think anybody will tell you the Eagles are the better team. Mm-hmm. But when it looks too good as a bet, don't we know to go to the other way?
When your team is up by 17 points in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs and they still lose, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say here, Doc. All right, we got to get into these props. We got to give the people what they want. What do you got for me, Heat? I know you've been itching. What's your favorite prop of the day? I know you got a sheet of like 125.
I got like 125. You know what? There's so much I love this, but the number one thing I love Jalen Carter over 0.25 sacks per half. That's a plus 850 for a dude that has been sacked in every quarterback the whole playoffs. I mean, he's fire, dude, and he is the key. And if they get Brandon Graham back, who is questionable as of right now, with Nolan Smith and the rest of the guys,
Did you say 3 sacks for the man? Is that what you're calling?
Wait, is it 1.5 sacks per half or a half sack per half?
It's 0.25 sacks per half plus 850 on DK. I was, and then of course, if he's 1+ sack is a plus 133, and his over 0.25 for the entire game is a plus 117. I mean, I'm rolling Jalen Carter IDP hero. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Doc, I don't know if you remember, but Heat reminded me. What was that?
Is there an offensive one, Heat, that you like?
Well, of course. It's Barkley. I'm building ladders with Barkley. So I already said it on my podcast earlier in the week. 21 carries, 186 yards, 3 catches, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, Saquon Barkley. So you just ladder that bad boy up from 125, which actually the 150 plus alt on DK is a plus 160, but on FanDuel, and this is of course on Sunday last week, is a plus 125. Russian Rec, of course, is a negative 140. 150 goes to plus 160, and 200 is a plus 700 for Saquon Barkley total Russian Rec. That's my dude.
Interesting. Hey, Doc, I don't know if you remember, Heat reminded me. Do you remember when we were calling out crazy picks for the Super Bowl last year and Heat said plus 3,800 non-quarterback to throw a touchdown?
I mean, that's something Heat would say.
And it hit. And it hit, Doc, and it hit.
So that's it too. So also in the specials, any non-quarterback on FanDuel to catch a pass is now not 38. It is 2,000 because they know Philly trying to run that Philly special with Saquon. And then DK is not even giving up. DK is actually doing the next one over. They said any quarterback catches a pass or any total player pass attempts in the game, it's over 2.5 players on DK is a plus 180. So they're expecting somebody else to take a pass, and both teams pass. Kelsey missed his target last year. Does Kelsey pass the ball?
Some wild props.
Yeah.
Some wild props. All right, Doc, talk some sanity to us. What do you have for some, standard props that people can wrap their brains around?
I don't have. Tell me what Paydirt has. What does Paydirt have?
I haven't really. So you have to put it in there. You have to play around with it. So you got to give me a couple of props, and then I can play around with it.
I don't. I haven't really paid. I want to say I haven't paid attention.
Sure.
What's Goddard's prop?
Plus 5 catches is a negative 148 on FanDuel.
What's yards?
Now that one, I actually went first quarter yards. Over 8.5 is a negative 108 first quarter yards for him.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at basic trends. Like Kansas City's terrible against tight ends.
Exactly.
Bad. So, but I don't know whether Goddard's going to have more than 5 catches, but I think he may get.
I got Goddard's over 50 yards for minus 135.
That's not bad.
Right. So that could be an over. I mean, I think you got to look at the way the game goes down. So let's say Heat's right and Barkley has a generational Timmy Smith game. Then Goddard, AJ Brown, and Devonta are all under.
Yeah.
If they stop Barkley, then all those guys are over. So I think you got to make a stand somewhere. Danger, I don't know how you think about that, but I think you got to make a stand. Deciding how this game is going down, but I do think a Chiefs receiver that nobody's talking about, whether it's Juju, Noah Gray, Justin Watson, somebody like that scores.
So there's 2 players that pop up in the Showdown simulator as guys that you want to take a shot on the captain, and the number 1 edge value play is Hollywood Brown in the captain slot of a Showdown.
Oh yeah.
And then the number 1 punt play is, it just keeps popping up, Samaje Perine.
Oh.
Man, him. See, I'm doing Dallas Goedert as my captain just because
Yeah.
Dude's going to eat it up, and he saved so much money. They got his, I think he's around 56 if he's just regular, but it's 8,700 on DK if he's the captain. So that's really cheap.
Yeah, they're awful. But the thing is, Dak, is what we've also said was if you go back and look at the last few games with Kansas City, from the playoffs to the games that still mattered in the regular season, their rush defense has not been as good as people's minds have them being.
But do you want to give Spags 2 weeks? You give Andy Reid and Spagnuolo 2 weeks to figure out defense?
Yeah.
I just think that I'm committing to making Jalen Hurts beat me and not Saquon. That just feels smart to me.
So that leads to the next question. Who does McDuffie get? Because I don't think McDuffie can handle A.J. Brown. Not the way he's
too small.
playing.
Too small.
Yeah,
what about Watson? Can Watson handle
him? I mean, we've seen nobody handled him when he got it. Last game, he was just catching on dudes, right? So, Latimer, he was just catching, and Latimer was trying to actually bully him like he did Mike Evans, which I didn't know why he didn't do that to Mike Evans, but he was trying to bully A.J. Brown. Right from the go, he was trying to intimidate him. And you know what A.J. Brown did to him? Sat his ass down. That's the problem.
How big is Watson? Because McDuffie's like 5'10". Is Watson small? Because Brown is so big, you can't stop him. Like you're saying, Lattimore is a tall guy. McDuffie's not.
Yeah.
What about the
Jalen right now
over rushing yards? Assuming that Kansas City's coming after him.
He's 6'2". Jalen Watson 6'2".
So that might be who I put on Brown.
I got Jalen Hurts projected for 36 yards, median projection. Projection.
Okay.
If they lock in on Barkley, does he not, figure out how to scramble a little bit?
Yes. And a couple of design runs, a little RPO, fake to Barkley and run.
Yep.
I think Hurts over feels right.
Yeah, that's good. And then when you mentioned Marquise Brown, Hollywood, his first quarter prop is at the time was over 4.5 yards, and you were getting a negative 114 on that as well too. So that's where I'm thinking is that they've been using Hollywood Brown kind of like that's, the slot. They've been getting him a lot of targets weirdly. So I definitely think that one catch by Hollywood Brown in the first quarter could definitely hit that too. I want to throw that in real quick.
Interesting.
I mean, I got Hollywood only 2.5 points behind Worthy in the projections overall. I mean, I think it's looking pretty good for him. I've got him at 3.5 catches. I've got him at 41 yards. That's not bad.
What's his prop? What's his prop?
Let me pull that back up. I was breaking down Kelsey props.
He's breaking down Kelsey props.
The prop is 40.5 for minus 130.
That's a wild one right there.
It's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, earlier in the week, it was probably like a 30, 35. I mean, that's why they had him so low, but they think that he's going to be a big part of the game. So,
I don't know. I'll tell you this, Doc. I got a free entry into the Millie Maker Showdown. I just don't have the money to throw at 150 $20 things, but I'll take a freebie. And I started it with Goddard. I've got Hurts. I've got Kelsey instead of Mahomes because I put Barkley and I put the Philly D in it because I think if the Philly D can rough them up, it could get out of hand.
Yeah.
Mahomes hasn't had the big Mahomes game yet, right? So unless you're not getting 304 like the old Mahomes. So if he goes for $196 and 2, is that going to kill you? Maybe because it's a showdown slate, but I don't know whether he's going to put up the.
No, but if you scale back a little bit, you can actually build that lineup with Barkley and the captain.
Yeah.
If you're willing to go defense and then like a guy like P. Ryan and go Kelsey, you could put Barkley, Hurts, and Brown or Goddard or Smith in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible to build those lineups.
Yeah, I have one with Barkley as the captain, Kelsey, Smith, Goddard, Hollywood Brown, and the Eagles defense. So that was one of the first ones I made like a week and a half ago.
If you just make sure that you are not playing both Kelsey and Mahomes, you can put a lot of Eagles in there.
Yeah. Yep. because you have to give it's hard with Barkley how much he is, and then that's why
So I'm looking at the edge for the showdown simulations. Okay, so captain edge, best edge is only 2.6%. It's very low, but it's Hollywood Brown, then Jake Elliott, Harrison Butker, and Saquon's not on this list because I think people are gonna try to force him in. In a small contest like ours with only 30 of us, you can goof around, but in the bigger ones, I mean, playing one of these guys, putting a kicker up there seems smart.
If you're Trevor would tell us to fade Barkley.
Yes, he would.
He would. He'd say fade him.
Yeah. He would.
You got to make a stand, and I'm not saying that's the right stand, and I'm not saying you were wrong with that Barkley is going to be generational. But
of course,
if you're trying to be contrarian, you got to do something contrarian.
Yeah. So that's Juju Smith-Schuster for 2,000 on DK.
Right.
And if he goes as captain, he's most likely 3,000, and then that will get you Mahomes, Kelsey, probably Barkley and Hurts as well too, and maybe a kicker. I haven't really set it up, but I'll go set it up to see if I can get that way. But that's something right there because Juju was a big part of last game. He shows up every once in a while, so that's that guy. That may be that guy because usually it's Watson. Right. But recently, it's been Juju making those big down the field.
And I tell you, I've been paying attention, man. People are talking about playoff Juju. They're talking about it. So I think he's going to be a little higher owned than we want him to be. That's why I think Hollywood Brown pops up in these simulations so well because he's going to go way under owned. So let me ask you this, Doc. Pater currently has Barkley at just over 50% projected in the flex. But DFS Hero has them at 89% projected in flex. I think it's closer to DFS Heroes.
I think so. I think if it's got to be minimum 70, probably more.
So I wrote this up in my article for the 2Gamer, if you read it, and it was, if you're going to play Barkley and you're playing 150 lineups or 60 lineups or 20 lineups, if you're going to play Barkley, just do it 100%. Just if you can't beat if you're not going to fade him, play him 100%. That's the only way to beat the, that kind of an exposure. You either overexpose or completely fade.
Or under, right? It's like when you go swimming, you don't go in with like 1 foot, 1 leg.
Yep.
You either don't go in the pool or you jump in the pool.
Jump right in. So it's interesting. I think it's not, I don't think it's going to be super under-owned, to be honest, but I am playing a lot of Eagles passing attack. I am still scooching Barkley in there so far, but we'll see. We'll see how I change my mind by Sunday. Here's the thing, Doc. My lovely wife and the boys, I don't know if I told you this, but I got to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I got to take them to the Detroit airport.
No?
They're flying into Fort Myers for them to go to Marco Island.
Really?
So they do this every other year kind of trip. Say what?
Are the grandparents here?
Yeah, they're at Marco Island. So they go about 2 out of every 3 years they've been going. And she said, I think I'm going to take the boys down. And it's a 1-bedroom condo on the ocean. So it's like if she goes with the boys, she can stay on the couch. Boys can stay on the floor. If I go, we got to get a hotel room. Like it's a whole thing.
Right.
So she says, I'm thinking about going. I think I'm going to go the 8th through like the 11th. Is that okay with you? And I'm like, oh, no, don't leave me alone on the Super Bowl weekend. So I'm going to be honest. We'll see. I should probably set my lineups when I get back from the airport tomorrow in case I sleep through the Super Bowl or something. I don't know.
Sleep through the Super Bowl? Who are you?
Yeah, you got to get.
There's a lot of beers in the garage, Doc. I'm just saying. There's a lot of beers in the garage.
We should have brought some down. Hey, so I got that lineup. Right.
Yes, please.
Schuster is your captain. Barkley, Hurts, Mahomes, Worthy, Hunt. If you take Worthy out and you go with Kelsey, you're going to end up, unfortunately, with Hollywood Brown, which you do like because you're $200 away from Dallas Goedert. So there it is if you like Schuster as your captain. It's done out.
Right. I'm going to refresh these things here. Let's see what
All right, so while you refresh it, at the time, A.J. Brown 5+ Rex on, of course, the alt was a 186. Noah Gray is a plus 104 at the time when I grabbed these bets. And this is FanDuel for that right there. And, of course, FanDuel has Jalen Carter at over a half a stack, 118. And Chris Jones is a plus 134, both pluses. So, I mean, you right there, you're looking at all that. That's easy stuff. If any of this game goes that any way, you're looking at those catches, those easy things, because we know Noah Gray is going to get at least 2 catches.
There's no way this game becomes low scoring, is there? Is there any way this game is 24-23? Is this over 50?
I mean, I have it over 50 because I just think both teams can definitely score. I mean, the Phillies is still weak in the back end. If you're going to expose them, you can expose the safeties, of course, not the corners, but you can expose it. That would be their only thing. So that's where Travis Kelce is. So this is like I said, and then, is this the Travis Kelce game? Yes, it is a Travis Kelce game because they're going to have to attack it. But if they cover Travis Kelce, then they're going to need one of their receivers to step up. And they're just going to be chucking it, man. And Mahomes is going to be running, scrambling, because that's what he's good at.
All right, Lou Lander says he thinks we see a ton of field goals, both very good defenses. I like Butker a lot in this game. I don't trust Philly because if they're within 5 yards, they just push and push and push until they get there. But I like Butker a lot. I've got him up the board quite a bit. Yeah.
This is one of those games, guys, and I've said it all throughout the playoffs. If the Chiefs win the coin toss and they get the ball first in the second half, and they can keep the first half close or even be up by a field goal, that could be 10 points real quick. And now the Eagles are in catch-up mode, taking them out of the way they want to play and forcing them to throw more.
Yeah.
Which makes the KC defense kind of interesting just for sacks, maybe a pick. I mean, it's not like Jalen Hurts is this great quarterback here. Good runner, not great.
That's true.
Not the greatest thrower.
To back up some of your kicking bets too. So Harrison Butker on DK has over 2+ field goals is a -177. Jake Elliott 3+ point after touchdowns made is a -116. When you flip over to FanDuel, you got Jake Elliott 6.5 over is a -130. So you're seeing at least a couple field goals, both by those are really strong. In my opinion, it's close, but I will take that over 6.5 because I assume both kickers are kicking 2 field goals, hence 34-27, but the extra points will be there too.
Interesting.
Okay, I just refreshed DFS Hero to a large scale instead of the small scale GPP, and it is saying they are projecting right now that Mahomes and Hurts will be more owned in the flex than Barkley. That probably could make sense because I don't know if anybody is going to play Hurts or Mahomes in a captain spot. I don't know.
Hurts is
interesting. And then I run over the captain, and it still says Mahomes will be the highest owned captain.
So would you play Hurts?
Oh,
I mean, Hurts could win it to you if he gets 2 tush pushes and he throws 2 touchdowns.
Done.
Yeah.
He's the guy you got to have.
We've seen games with 130 yards from Barkley and 0 touchdowns.
Right.
If that happens, fading Barkley wins.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So if you play, I would say this, and maybe I'm very wrong, and you tell me because you're my gambling guy. I think you don't play Hurts and Barkley together. You play Hurts or you play Barkley, but not both together.
I could deal with that. That's legit. And if you're going to put Hurts in at captain, Hurts is just like Lamar Jackson. Why wouldn't you put one of those guys in the captain spot? Or like Josh Allen. Anytime I play Showdown slate and one of those 3 guys is playing in that game, done. I don't care. They're always captain.
All right, I'm writing this down on my sheet here, Doc. Lou says 3 field goals from Butker, 2 from Elliott, but he'll also miss one.
It's a lot of field
He
goals.
does miss. He always misses.
That's right.
So let's throw a couple IDP while you guys load up. Justin Reed over 5.5 total tackles is -129 on DraftKings, and Brian Cook. I'm telling you, Brian Cook is getting more than 3.5 tackles. He's got a +106. I'm dropping that. That's. I got like 3 units on that.
What about Cooper DeJean? How many tackles is Cooper DeJean?
Ooh, I'll have to go there to get that one.
That dude's always in on plays. Always.
Yeah. And, that's the guy that's where I've been struggling too with Kelce. Do you put Cooper DeJean on Kelce? I don't think so. You put Cooper DeJean on Xavier Worthy. Now let's see it.
He's fast enough. He's fast enough.
Exactly. Oh man. I want all parts of that because that's actually one little matchup, which I don't really care what happens. I want to see those fast guys running around chasing each other. That's the best.
We got a comment here on YouTube. Imaginary Author says, how do the Eagles win without getting turnovers?
Time of possession, running the football down the Chiefs' throats,
Mhm.
good timely passes from Jalen Hurts, time up, and then basically getting the big sack on Mahomes and no stupid penalties.
Mhm.
No bad penalties. The refs don't pull anything out of their butts. You play really good run defense and you control the time of possession and you can win without a turnover.
I'm going to tell you, Doc, my personal feeling is the Eagles do not win unless this game goes over 50. I think if it's a tight game, Kansas City pulls it out. I think the Eagles need to score and score again.
Cooper
you
DeJean.
Give Mahomes the ball with 2 minutes to go. It's over. You'll lose.
Nope.
That's right.
That's it. He'll win. Cooper DeJean is 5.5 on DK for a plus 105. That is very interesting as well, too. But I went Cook because Cook is more like a safety role. So if Saquon gets the ball 18 times and he makes it to that secondary, Cook's going to be out there plus with the AJ Brown. So I do like the 5.5 with
5.5 seems high. What's Cook?
Cook is 3.5.
That's maybe better.
Yeah. For me, that seems like the safer pick too, because Cook has averaged 4.6 tackles all year long. So why not? Why not just throw it in? Because I mean he's on my dynasty team too for a reason.
It's all about that.
All right, Doc. Give me Devonta Smith over 60 for plus 125. I think that's my favorite receiving. I think he's going to break one big pass. One big pass.
Yeah.
So is he playing slot? Is he playing the slot?
Depends on what they're going to move him around.
Cooper DeJean? Because if he does, he's not getting 60. Wait, same team. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Watson, McDuffie. Yes, he could see 60 because Kansas City doesn't have a great slot guy.
Yeah, I mean his prop is 50. I'm moving it to 60 to get the plus 125.
I would agree with that. Because Kansas City's been beaten this year by slot guys and by tight ends. That's where they've been hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my favorite one. I also like Hollywood Brown at 50 or more for plus 128.
Yeah, that's nice. You want to throw in too, since you're talking Devonta Smith, his first quarter prop on FanDuel was at the time when I got this over 6.5 yards. It's one catch, man, and you get a negative 120. So,
what do we think about Kareem Hunt, Doc? I know you got to get out of here in a second, but what do you think about Kareem Hunt? I mean, I don't think he's going to run the ball worth a damn, but can he catch 3 or 4 passes out the backfield and break one for 15, 20?
Yes, but I think any rushing yards against the Eagles doesn't seem to fly here. Doesn't feel like it's going to fly. The Eagles' run defense has been top notch. Jordan Davis has been sensational. Carter's been sensational. So I have no problem with the Hunt over receiving yards. Pacheco, I would go under for sure. For sure. What is he, 35, 40 yards?
Yeah.
I will say
Pacheco's awful.
Kareem Hunt on DK, Kareem Hunt over 10.5 fantasy points is a negative 130. I kind of like that because he gets, just like you said, a few catches, 30, 40 yards. He's already almost there. He gets, 8 carries, 28 yards. We're close.
And that's where they're probably going. They're probably going 3 for 40, which is 7, and maybe he gets 40 yards rushing, give or take, and there you have your 11 points.
I'm going Juju Smith, by the way, 2.5 catches over for minus 140.
Yeah,
that's legit. Yeah, definitely Juju's getting that ball. They've been sneaking him in. They liked him, at first when they were trying to replace Rice and everything, but then you got Hopkins showed up, and then it was kind of like, we just throw it to everybody, and that's what he does. That's what I saw that the last one I looked, DK had how many Chiefs would catch a ball? It was 8.5. I mean, it's close. It's close. A lot of Chiefs are going to catch a ball, but I don't like that 8.5. 7.5 would have probably been better.
All right, last question here, imaginary authors. Do we believe in the Eagles' passing game? They haven't really been passing all year. Well, they haven't needed to. So if we believe Spags is going to take Barkley out of the game, if that's the narrative you're going for, then you must believe in the passing game.
What imaginary said is the winning ticket for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has to play at a level he hasn't played in all season. If he does, if the passing game goes from mediocre to good, the Eagles have a great chance to win. If Jalen Hurts doesn't, they can't win this game. It's the only way they win this game is if Hurts plays arguably the best game he's played all year.
Yeah.
I think Authors is dead on that. Dead on.
Yeah, you are right about Spags. Spags knows how to really control people, you know? So if he bottles up Barkley or lets him get what he wants, he might confuse Hurts and those definitely get that pick because, you know, Sandstrill's back there too for the Chiefs. I said that right. And then the Chiefs do get interceptions. They always seem to be in that position to get the interception. So that being said, and we all know Hurts does make that mistake sometimes.
He does.
That could do it.
It's kind of like basketball. It's like you either stop LeBron or you let LeBron get his and stop everybody else, right? It's one of the two. I think you stop Saquon and make everybody else on the Eagles beat you.
Yeah, and if you think that they're going to stop Saquon, I mean, the prop right now on Jalen Hurts is plus over 225 passing yards for plus 121.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not
right.
bad. But I will say, Luca. Yeah.
All right, guys, enjoy the game, okay?
You have
a great one, Doc. Take care.
Pop it in.
All
right.
My projection machine finally started working. So give me an offensive prop you want to look at. Give me the yards. Give me the what the prop line's at, and I'll pop a few in. I just ran Dallas Goedert reception yards over 50.5 at minus 135.
Mm-hmm.
It says it's going to not cover.
Hey, I mean, here's the thing, and this is where like DK has these exact scores right here, and they got Goddard at 88 exact yards. I'm like, I ain't taking that. So, if all you people out there, do not fall into that. Do not take that. I will say, hey, let's defend against some of these bad bets. We get enamored with a lot of these, cool specials and novelty bets, but some of them are meant for you to lose. So don't lose that money. That's why Danger's going to tell us the percentages so that we can either take that chance or don't take that chance and stay safe.
Well, I'm looking at my projections. The simulated projections for Goddard is a median score of 42 yards.
Yeah.
So
see, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
When he does 5 catches sometimes, though, if he doesn't get like a big long run, it goes like he's like 37, 42. You know? So
I don't know, man. The prop machine says he only beats over 50.5 21% of the time.
See? So there you go, people. You got that stuff right there.
All right, let's look at Barkley. What do we got for Barkley? Let's see.
What do you want? We're
gonna go rushing yards. What's his rushing yard prop right now? Just rushing, not rushing in receiving.
Yeah, you know me. I always love.
I know you like to combine them. I think last I saw was like one.
So it's 120 yards rushing is a plus 120 on DK right now.
120.5 plus what?
120.
Plus 120. Simulate that prop. Let's see what she says.
Yeah. The 110 is a negative 120.
All right. He beats that prop 48.18% of the time. You know what? Can we just say that these Vegas guys are pretty good most of the time?
Yeah, they are. That's why sometimes if you go his rushing and receiving, it's 130 total yards and you get a negative 116. So if you think that extra 10 yards and combining the receiving yards on top of the rushing yards is easier to hit, then that's what I think. That's why I always love to do that. Sometimes you could get a number. Actually, I love that number.
You're right.
But I got that number at a 1.
So my favorite things to do are to look at the props that I like, put them about 10 together, and then tease them all down to a way more reasonable number.
Yes. No, I do that. What somebody made fun of me in there. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Lou or something like that. Or I think it was Fantasy Clown. He was like, "Hey, you like to take those little unders, but look, if I'm combining a 5-leg parlay, which is really hard to hit, I'm not going for 5+ catches. I'll go for 3 or 2, and I'll take the negative 420, and then maybe if you feel lucky, throw in the touchdown bet, and you might get a plus 370. It's kind of like what happened last week with the UFC fights, where I had the lineup. I had a lot of Izzy, and then I faded about, and I went with Paige, and I'm I'm a Vav, whatever. And I went with that, and that parlay hit. And then by switching that in the DFS lineup, the DFS lineup's cashed. So I was able to cover myself. But if Izzy would have won, I would have won a lot more money. But that's why sometimes you got to hedge yourself too.
Correct.
And when you go with that prop, you got to take I'm not saying go play under -130.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
So lose our prop guy. I don't know if he's still listening. He was commenting on Twitter as we were going. But let's talk about these celebrity prop bets for the Super Bowl, shall we?
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna read them down. You tell me whether it's worth throwing a $10 bet on it. All right.
Yeah.
We got Dave Portnoy's Super Bowl bet. We got Patrick Mahomes 15+ rushing yards. Kareem Hunt 40+ rushing yards. Jalen Hurts 40+ rushing yards, and a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown score.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's
all four together. I like Mahomes 15. I think I like Hurts 40 even. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think I like it. I don't like Kareem Hunt 40 yards over 40.
Nope. I would take that down to like 20. But I will say this. On FanDuel first quarter, they had a 10+ rushing yards, a -102, but they had a 10+ rushing and receiving yards. You can get that in the alt version because they allow that now. Was a -136. So all Kareem Hunt has to do is just get 10 yards in 15 minutes.
So if you want to take Mahomes plus 15, Hunt plus 40 down to like 20 or 25, Hurts plus 40 and a Hurts touchdown, that's okay. That's a plus 500 as Dave Poitner had it. How about LeBron James? He's talking about Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown, and Jalen Hurts over 200 yards.
Oh, man.
Receiving touchdowns are so hard to pick. They're so hard.
Yeah. Because
if you hit that, though, it's plus 1,900.
Now, I would definitely throw $5 on that. Right. I would just throw $5. Hell, throw $1. You go win $20.
I just added it to the bet slip. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right, we like that one. All right, how about the guys that pardon my take? They got Jalen Carter over 1 sack.
Oh, yeah.
They got Devontae Smith over 52.5 receiving yards. Told you I already like that.
Oh, yeah.
We got Goddard over 52. That's pushing a little bit for me. And then really pushing, Mahomes going to have to get 30 or more rushing yards.
Ooh. And get hit by Nakobe Dean?
Yeah.
And get hit I mean, no way. No way. No. Those dudes are going to be launching.
I like the first two. I think we can parlay a Jalen Carter over 1 sack and a Smith 52.5 over.
I'm down for that.
We could parlay that.
If it allows you. Does it allow you?
How about the Super Bowl 57 deja vu? Jalen Hurts to score an anytime touchdown. Kelsey to score an anytime touchdown. A.J. Brown to score an anytime touchdown. All three scored the last time they were in the Super Bowl together.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus 1,200. Is that enough to predict 3 touchdowns? It feels like not enough.
No, they're gonna eat you on that one. They're gonna eat you. So one of them dudes is not getting a touchdown for some reason. And if they do, then I'm wrong. But I'm just not gonna run it back. I've seen that too. They did that with the score, the 38-35 score. I was like, no.
All right, one more here. I gotta get out of here. So we're gonna wrap it up.
That's
after
cool.
this.
That's
all right?
cool. Get ready.
One more. We got Kevin Hart's Fly Eagle Fly parlay.
I seen that.
Okay. We got Philly to win the game. We got Hurts to score a rushing or receiving touchdown. We got A.J. Brown over 50. We got Dallas Goedert over 40. I like that. And the reason why I like that, plus 575 ain't bad.
No, that's not bad at all. That's not bad. I take
all right,
that.
We're adding that one.
You're adding it. You get that.
We're adding that one.
We're gonna get you some. We can get you some cash too. Then I'm gonna do. I could do a quick run. While you're getting that together. Coin toss is going to be plus 100 on DK. A flea flicker for yes is a plus 280. The first touchdown jersey number.
Just a flea flicker alone. Like they're going to run the play.
Flicker.
What's the odds on that?
Plus 280.
I feel like Barkley's going to do that.
Yeah, like you just got to toss it back and then boom, hits 280. I'll throw $5 on that. Why not?
Do they have a
can
prop
make
for
money.
Kelsey to catch a ball and then lateral it backwards?
I did not know. I mean, but that would still count as the flea flicker, though.
Okay, fair.
Or Kelsey to throw that touchdown so we can get
Right.
that plus 2,000, go back to back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. I mean, of course, on DK, total players to pass, we already brought that up. Mahomes, 25 passing yards per quarter is a negative 130.
All right.
That's not bad. I definitely think that Mahomes can definitely do that.
All right.
Eagles rushing over 161.5 total yards for the team. Negative
Kinda like that.
115.
I kind of like
Game
that.
sacks for both teams over 4.5 is a negative 150.
Combined together. So you need 5 sacks.
Yep, you just need 5 sacks for both teams. But
A lot
that
of
brings
sacks.
it up too. Phillies plus 5 sacks is a 270, 6 sacks is a 650. And if any quarter is this
It's
is
a lot of
incredible.
sacks. It's a lot of sacks.
That is a lot of, dude. I'm looking for Philly to smash. Right.
That's a lot of sacks. Mahomes doesn't get sacked a lot.
I know. It's it's one of those ones I look at that 650 and I'm just like, why
Hey,
not?
run that back for me real quick. What was the 2.5 players to throw a pass? What was the odds on that?
Plus 180.
Plus one.
Plus
I
180.
like that bet. That's a good part. That's a good bet to throw on like the end of a 5-leg parlay. I like that.
Yeah, because if it happens, it's going to increase it. But I like
Mhm.
this one too. It's more of one of those ones. Any quarter to end scoreless, so it just ends, right? It's a
Mhm.
plus 420. You could smoke that bet all day.
You can
Yeah,
smoke that bet all
bet all
day.
day.
I see what you did
That's
there.
what we do.
I see
Yeah.
what you did there.
I
All right,
So, I
Heath,
mean-
tell me. I gotta get out of here.
know you do.
Tell me, what are you drinking on game day? What do you
am I
got lined
drinking
up in
on
the
game day?
fridge? What do you got lined up in the fridge?
Dude.
I know you and I are big
live-
craft beer guys. What do we got?
So
Little-
in the
Little
fridge
Old
right
Nation
now.
Brewing Company right there, baby.
So right now I have a 4-pack Mix'em.
Mhm.
There's actually one, I think it's called El Quavo. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember the break offhand. It's a mango habanero beer. And then
Wait, is that a
Blake's.
cider? That's Blake's.
Yes,
That's my
yes,
boys from
it's
Michigan,
Blake's.
man. That's my boys.
Yes, it's Blake's hard cider, right? So I got their triple berry one, I got
Yeah.
their straight apple, and then I have
Yeah.
their lemon shandy.
Hey, if
So
you're
I
all
have
listening
those.
right now, don't sleep on Blake's hard cider, man.
No.
Those are my buddies. They're right here from Michigan, where I am. Love them. If I had thought about it, I'd have mailed you a case of Old Nation Brewing Company.
Well, I will drink that all day long. But I will say this too: with those Blakes, they hit you hard. So don't
They
be
do.
slamming no brakes, man.
Yeah.
You'll be up on the ground. You'll be hitting
Listen.
the brakes.
It's a lot of sugar in hard ciders. Just saying.
That too. And so
That's true.
if you're this way DB or this way DB, you gotta watch what you're doing, man. You
That's
get me hitting
right.
them ciders. But that's
That's
what I
right.
like. I like that stuff. I live near the biggest distributor in Erie, Pennsylvania. So they got, like, when I told you I got a lot of like the Warsteiners for $15. I mean,
Mhm.
and then I got the Blancs from France. That was an
Mm-hmm.
import. That's over $50-$60 here. I got it for $15.
Love it.
I'll free shop the bargain bin at a beer place every day, all day long. That's what I'll do.
Absolutely love it, buddy. All right. Well, best of luck to you tomorrow. I
Good
know
luck, my
that
brother.
the Discord over at drroto.com is going to be hopping on
Oh, we're gonna
Sunday
be
all
hit.
day. It's going to be wild.
It'd be awesome.
We're going to have some fun. If you haven't got over there, look, football may be ending. That may be true. It's a sad story.
Oh.
But we have a hell of a team. The One and Done guys over on YouTube also post some content for us at drroto.com for college basketball. We got Mark. We got Brewery Mark. We got Kickman
Mhm.
doing hockey.
That we do.
We got Adam White and myself soon to resume our PGA content. Adam's been writing, but the show's coming back on.
That's right.
We got a couple guys talking basketball, so
Yeah,
we're still
talking
there.
UFC too.
We're
We're
still
getting
there.
UFC too. We're trying to get everything going
That's
on.
right.
Hey, you want a parlay for tomorrow? Or you want a DK lineup real quick before we
Yes,
go?
I do.
We got
Sure do.
Selkid, Wheelie, Strickland, Nolan, Crute, and Matthews. Smash that. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah,
That's how you bring the pain to MMA. Woo!
absolutely love it, man. All right, man. We'll catch everybody. Have a great Super Bowl, and we'll see you for Valentine's Day.
Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.